This is Jason Warbucks.
This is Lane.
This is Shani.
This is your boy Steven, and you're now tuned into
The Perspicax.
Ooh, what's going on, peeps? Welcome to episode 6 of The Perspicax. What up? They got me... I was going to say they got me hosting it today. Bad idea. But they got me hosting it today. So, I got to say, what up, my peeps? What up, my family? What up, Steven? What up, Denise? What up, Shanice? How y'all feeling?
We're good. We're out here.
We be here. We
come
chilling
on,
like
man.
a villain.
Chilling like a villain. We're here. You already know episode 6 in the building. And I'm still excited about episode 5 because the numbers are going off the charts. So, man, let's keep it going. The Perspicax season, episode 6. What up? What's going on this week, man? What's going on this week? What we jumping into?
What are we talking about this week?
Take it away, Warbucks.
Oh, episode 5. Well, after that hot take of a take,
Right?
this week, we were thinking, with the release of the song, correct me if I'm wrong, WAP, coming out, we wanted to discuss, we came together, like we always do, and wanted to discuss about the music industry. Is it doing more harm than good? Because perfect example with that song, everyone right now is all in their feelings in a way saying, oh, it's derogatory, it's bad. And other people are just like, leave it alone. It's a song. Growing up, we had our selected tunes. We had some songs that came up and were just like kind of questionable, but we never really did because it didn't really come a forefront of the idea. And now with everyone being able to talk and social media coming out, everyone has something to say per se. So we were just saying, we're wondering, did music go wrong? Or is it the upbringing of people that are encouraging the behavior? So I throw the question out to you guys, whoever wants to start out. Shanice, I'm looking your direction.
Oh, me?
What do you think?
That's how I'm looking in your direction.
Wow, I didn't even know. Okay, well.
I'm still looking your direction first, girl.
When I think about the music industry back then, now I'll say back then, I'll be like the 1980s, 1990s, 2000s. We'll stick to that genre right now. Now, that was some music. I mean, you could hear some R&B songs and you just be in your feelings, just sitting there like, oh, this is nice. And just listening to the words of the songs and you're feeling good.
Yeah,
you're feeling great.
Like you can actually feel what the lyrics are.
Right? It's like something comes over you when you hear those, like, especially sometimes you be there like, what? I'm feeling this right now. Like, I'm feeling it in my heart, the music.
You mean like 4 guys standing in the rain singing about the one girl?
What? Don't even go there. You can't even.
4 guys standing in the rain singing about one girl. Only one guy's getting them.
What song is that, man? What song is that? For the people that don't know the tunes, the
Can You
youngins
Stand
that
the
don't
Rain?
know. By who?
Look it up.
You're just leaving it? You ain't gonna tell them who it's by?
Come on, man. It's a classic.
I drew a blank. Y'all tell me because I'm on my zone. I'm in my zone.
Not Boys to Men?
No.
New Edition.
I'm testing you.
I want to say it's Jodeci.
It's definitely not Jodeci.
See,
and now this is
Shanice, you broke into song. You should know who's singing.
But I dropped it. New Edition though. New Edition.
Yeah, I know my music people, so it's all right. Shanice, go on.
Wait, let me just confirm in case everybody's confused out here because
Zoogled up on the task.
yes, it's New.
She's gonna Zoogle it.
Okay.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, that means you missed a previous episode with some big jokes.
Okay, well, like that's New Edition. Can You Stand the Rain? And guys, I don't really even know artists or titles, but that's how good that was. Like as you were saying, Warwick, you feel that you remember that rain and then that low note and then like that whisper kind of feel, and you're just listening to that. And you're like, you're in it.
Yeah, facts.
Versus now, you hear the music now and you're literally feeling the beat run your heartbeat. You're not feeling the music. You're feeling the beat run your heartbeat. Okay. Right?
So are you talking about that? Well, you're going to stick to the topic. Can you stand the rain to like what? What would you compare that to right now? Like,
oh my gosh. I don't even know what I could compare it to.
There's not a lot.
What do you, that's even a perfect example. You can't compare it to the stuff that comes out today.
Can You Stand the Rain came out in 1988.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. I can't think of any male R&B groups right now. Do they exist?
No.
Am I overlooking someone?
I think there's none.
Honestly,
I feel like
my last favorite group was B2K. Actually, like,
okay.
Most currently, obviously, I'm not going to go all the way back because we can go back 112. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we can go back. But
the Commodores.
The most recent is B2K.
Yes.
Wow, this guy's going.
I feel like my most recent in terms of R&B would be Day 26.
Oh,
you guys remember?
Yes,
when Diddy had Making the Band?
Yes.
The reality show, and then Day 26 formed from that.
Yeah.
Yo, I bought their album on CD. Like, it was
For
good.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Hey.
Wow.
It was good.
Let's go through it back. She said CD.
Nah, she said
Yes.
Making the Band. That's a throwback still. Yo, if you guys don't know Making the Band, yeah, that's a series to watch. 100%.
Diddy and
Like,
Cheesecake.
they literally sang for their lives. Like, you could tell they were battling. Like, they wanted it really badly.
Yeah.
No,
But
man.
even girl groups there, I don't feel like there's any what girl groups are there right now? Compared to like the Destiny's Childs.
There's no comparison. Come on.
SWVs.
There's no comparison at all because last anyone probably heard of was Fifth Harmony, and then the one girl broke off, with Shawn and did her own solo thing. Now she's with that Shawn Mendes kid, and she hasn't looked back.
So it's kind of hard. Like, this is a great topic when you think about it, because we're here trying to compare two different genres, and there's no comparison, it seems like, for stuff back in like the 1990s and the early 2000s versus now we're missing so much. But like, that brings me to this though. Okay? Like, do you guys remember the songs that played back then? I'm going to mention the Cisco's Thong song, okay? Woo. Listen, I used to sing that song word for word. It was a track. I used to be, who's that? Don't get me started now. Don't get me started. But
nobody's hyping you up.
I was hyping me up just thinking about the song.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
As long as we recognize. You did it to yourself.
I did. But like, if you listen to those lyrics that we were singing at them young ages, we were never taking in the lyrics. I think that's really one of the big difference from now and back then. We would sing this song and we'd sing it to our heart's content. There's peaches and cream. Guys, we had to look at everything that we were singing, but we weren't taking it in. Facts. And now, as adults, we're like, what was I singing?
Yeah. Well, compared to now.
Yeah.
But now it's like the kids will tell you what's being said. They'll be like, did you hear that they said bleep, 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 bleep?
Listen, like, they're hearing the explicit version before they even know clean versions. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
See, that leads me to another question I want to ask you guys then.
Okay.
Are we looking at like celebrities and artists as role models? Are we looking at everybody? Because even people our age right now, we look up to Kim Kardashian like she's a supermodel, when in reality,
supermodel,
expletive.
No, that's a good question, because I feel like it would depend on what that celebrity or how that celebrity carries themselves. Because I'd say my favorite, like, we're in the music industry, but we're talking about role models. Like, if I was to say, like, I'd want my kid to have a role model, like, because I love soccer, it would be like Thierry Henry. Because right now he's like, just how he carries himself. But it would really depend on the genre of whatever you're into. Like, in the music industry, I feel like it's hard to even say you'd want any one of those people as a role model, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of things that they're doing that they don't want to be doing, but they have to do because of money. You know what I mean? So I personally would not be saying, like, I wouldn't want my kids to look up to celebrities, singers, or artists. Because at the end of the day, right now, like we were just discussing, music right now is actually so ridiculous that more times I'm just listening to the beat more than the actual lyrics. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even about the lyrics anymore for me. I'm just like, all right, cool. I can bump it in my car. All right, cool. That's all it matters. You know what I mean? I'm not even hearing what these guys are saying anymore. So how about you guys? What do you guys do?
Yo, niece, I want to hear.
Yeah, I feel like okay, the four of us in this group probably aren't using any like musical artists as our personal role models.
No,
because there's a lot of like garbage music that's coming out these days. But I would say like the fact that these people are celebrities and the fact that they are so popular means that people want to be like them, right? Like, no matter what an artist is singing about or rapping about or whatever, like whatever cause they want to talk about, the reason that they're becoming so popular is because people agree with them. People want to be like them. People wish they could be best friends with them. Like, that's like the nature of being a celebrity is people want to be with you. People want to be like you. So when we're seeing like who's becoming famous, I think it kind of gives us a picture of what people are looking up to. Does that make sense?
No,
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, and to even think about something that like, you touched on, in a sense, the music industry now and what they are or how they're delivering their message in their songs are way more derogatory than what they were back then. Back then, it was done in a sleek, sly way, right? But don't get this twisted, because I strongly believe that it was still done in our faces. It's just how we viewed the world back then was different. Yeah. Like, there was a study done by Elizabeth Monk. Oh, what's her name? Monk Turner. And she wrote something about gender differences in derogatory music. Now, she said the effort was said in, she took, I think it was like an array of songs, maybe let's just say 20 songs. And she just said the effort was said 124 times by male rappers. The B word was said 124 times. There was a bunch of different swear words. The N word was also said 122 times. And this is just taking an array of like, let's just say 10 songs and looking and dissecting all of them. So if you think about it, it was still out there. It was out there heavy. It was never hidden, but it's how we viewed the world at that time is what shaped how we looked at music back then is differently.
That's true.
Right? Because now every other word some of these rappers say is you gotta, if you want the clean version, you're listening to beep, beep.
Not even beep, it's just like, it's crazy because now if you listen to the clean version, then you listen to it just sounds like two different. Sometimes it sounds like two different songs. You're just like, yo, I can't even listen to the clean version. Like, what is this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, like sometimes they just go silent. Like they don't even remember when DMX had all his clean versions. It was barking and dog sounds and growls and stuff, so you could still like get hype. Now a lot of songs when they do the clean version, it just goes silent where they would have said something else. I'm like, this isn't even creative. This was lazy. You just turn the volume down. Like I could do that myself.
Yeah, I could do it myself.
Facts. That's so true. But even the way, because I was just even that this topic is big. That's what's going on right now. But even the way that we used to like get music back in the day to how we get it now. You know what I mean? Like, because at the end of the day, I feel like we were more exposed to whatever music we wanted to listen to, just because of the fact like we had internet and there was Limewire, there was Napster, there was different avenues for us to just download, slap that on our big ass iPod, or iPod Touch or whatever, and bump that to school. You know what I mean? Who our parents don't even know where to listen to. You know, that's just on the. You know what I mean? What are you talking about?
We barely had iPod Touch, sir. We had iPod.
The big
I was about to say
with the circle wheel.
Listen, you guys got iPods? You guys got iPods? You're lucky. I had an MP3.
Oh, I had that too.
Just the little black Sony, like not even the whole iPod.
Guys, let me hit you with it. I had a Walkman. I listened to my CDs walking to school.
I have an MP3 Walkman.
Ooh.
Wow.
With MP3 CDs.
Ooh.
Jeez.
Bro, are you making up technology right now? I'm like,
am I what? MP3 CD player?
So think about that. 2000s. That's what we had back then. They have now their phones, which all we know, it takes 2.2 seconds for them to find anything on that phone.
Anything.
Yep.
What?
So it's like,
demos.
They have
Yes,
YouTube, Spotify.
Perspicax.
Yeah, you can listen to us on there. And Apple.
And
Apple Podcast.
Exactly. So like right now it's at the like you could just Google's how fast, like 0.5 seconds we were just talking shit. Like, how fast you can find something. So right now it's so easy. Back in the days where you have to type in a song and then go through the song to make sure it's not a virus, make sure it's not make sure it's the actual right song. Because back in the day they used to have the Bill Clinton ones that used to just come in I used to download some shit.
Oh my gosh, you just unlocked a memory I forgot I had.
I used to have Limewire. Trust me, Limewire was the death,
King of viruses, king of killing computers.
Oh my gosh, man,
And then all the song names were so long because it was like Chris _ Brown _ T _ Payne _
featuring.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh
so
my
like we had a technology struggle, whereas they just have everything. So then, like, you know what? Like, circling back to if they would, like, who would be your celebrity, like, that you'd want as a role model for your kids now, is very limited to none, because it's hard to say this, but all in all, what we had back then, we had to really dissect it a lot more to figure out what we actually liked. Whereas now, they could have everything at their disposal. So you can never even limit it.
It's being forced on you.
That's
know
true.
what we had back then? BET.
Oh,
True.
These kids nowadays have to go on YouTube to kind of see it, or go. But back in the day, if you wanted to see music videos when they were still around, or find out what's playing that's hot, you had to go to BET.
Yo, right after school, 106 in Park or Tigger in the Basement.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Y'all lucky. My mom didn't let me watch BET. I had to go to school and learn all the songs the next day. It's like,
yo, trust me, someone's had it like that, yo. I feel you.
Oh man. But it's true. I feel like once BET became available here in Canada, for those of you who are not listening, we are not listening from this country. Let us remind you that we are in Canada. When BET became widely available here, it was like it opened up a whole new world to us. We kind of knew the songs, from however we figured stuff out. Magazines, what? I don't know.
Parties.
But then, when yes, exactly. But then when 106 in Park came through, oh man. And then you could see all the music videos, which helps stuff get stuck in your head a lot more.
100%. 100%.
Like
visual aid.
I can still picture music videos from like whenever, like it's kind of weird to think about, which also reminds me of like these lyrics, right? Whenever you put something to music, it sticks in your head so much more. And like you were saying before, Shani, like we didn't really understand what we were singing, but we still remember the words. Like, why do I know all the words to Candy Shop? I should not know all the words to Candy Shop.
That was on an everyday playlist. Like, you know what I mean? That was running, man.
Always.
Exactly.
Or Little Wayne Lollipop.
Again, do the breakdown to that song, and we shouldn't at that age, or what were we, like 12, 13? I'm trying to age some of us different, but like, should we have been singing that? Okay.
Right? Nah, and the video came out for that too. Yeah.
But even though, compare videos too, videos back then, it wasn't in your face. Like you were saying, you felt like forced, like it's forced now because everything's in your face. Like, this is what you're supposed to do. This is how you're supposed to see things. This is how this song is supposed to make you feel. Whereas back then we had more exposure to feel how we wanted to feel when we heard something.
And now the videos, like, I feel the videos nowadays, they don't even go anything with the songs. Like, you know what I mean? These guys are just putting girls or putting whatever in the video just to give the video more views. Back in the day, I remember man used to sing about songs, man in the arena dance, and you know what I mean? Man's actually, getting into the tunes, like man's are probably, you know what I mean? Like giving you some soul, giving you some feeling to the tunes. That now you listen to the music, it's more about the cars in the video or the mansion in the back, or like, you know what I mean? You're not even.
It's all the flash.
Yeah,
like that's what kind of bothers me. Like, what are we telling the kids these days, that you have to go this route to be successful? That all this singing about me loving this girl or pushing this weight or bopping this HOE, because I won't say it because it's rude. What is it telling kids? Like, what is it that if I have a little nephew that sings bought a Lamborghini a cop car, pardon my French, but I'm just like, what are you hearing? That you need to go this route to be successful? No. Go pick up a book, read, get some education into it, get focused with it. Because these guys, as much as they look established, deep down, they're signed to labels that tell them they have to say this or they won't make any money. It's not their fault for going this route because they wanted to go into music, but they have to say what they're saying or they're not going to get paid. And I feel truthfully, as much as, I will listen to the 1-2 rap songs, little kids, when you get your teenage years, sure, go ahead. But I shouldn't see a 6-year-old singing about WAP or singing about my, like, my shorty's popping it out there for me. That's disgusting.
Yeah, facts. And that's the thing. Like that's what I'm saying. Right now, is just it's feel like that type of genre, or that type of music, is just it's being pushed more than like the J. Cole's and the like. You know what I mean? Like the stuff that we really you'd have to like.
Oh, Kendrick too. He was good
you know what I mean?
too.
The people that are really talking about some stuff that you really want to like. You know what I mean? Kendrick and J. Cole are people I'd probably listen to if they were bumping on the radio and had, you know what I mean? If they were playing them as much as they're playing Cardi and Meg Thee Stallion and those people right now. But I guess, like you said, it's really more on, my bad, it's more on the label and the fact that like, all right, when I signed into this and for me to get the X amount of dollars, I'm going to have to do whatever this contract or what I sound to. You know what I mean? Because now at the end of the day, I don't feel like some of these artists are even singing what they really want to sing. You know what I mean? Like it's not like I'm doing it out of the goodness or I'm actually writing. It's more like, all right, boom, the label has this much artists. I got to put out my music this month. You know, that's how it's working. So like the quality is not even there. I feel like it will never be there ever again just because of how the industry's working.
I would like someone out there to tell me one positive track Nicki Minaj, Meg Thee Stallion, City Girls, or Cardi B put out.
Good question to that.
One song.
And another counter question to that. They can. Why haven't they?
Why haven't they? You have little girls coming up wanting to be you guys, going on Instagram, going on TikTok, going on Snapchat, singing word for word what you're saying. And people are like, that's so cute. Cute, my flippin' Ross. That's not cute. That's not even close to being cute.
Right?
Because am I going to what? Like, little girls are growing up faster every flipping day.
Yeah.
Every day, little girls are trying to grow up faster. And you're going to have a 13-year-old looking like she's an 18-year-old, and that's when they get into trouble. That's when something happens to them, and people blame them for it. Why? Because they didn't stop them from it.
I feel like I want to go in two different directions because I agree with a lot of what you guys have said, especially about like artists feeling like or being told that they have to go in a specific direction to like make the sales, make the money, stay in their contract. But is this actually new? Because I feel like we're comparing a lot to like, oh, back in the day, like it was so much better for us. But I don't really think it was like think about the music videos because we were talking about 106 in Park.
Yeah.
Think about the music videos that we were watching back then. Like this was a huge debate of like, oh, these hip hop videos are objectifying women, and it was like people in bikinis washing cars everywhere, and the videos were pretty explicit back then too. They were pretty 100%. Graphic.
Uncle Luke videos, if you know Uncle Luke, he was nasty. Nasty.
Yeah.
But that was great.
Right.
But even if we started to cut you, ladies, but even if you go like where you're right on that, look at how they manufactured Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera. That's a perfect way. Look how they manufactured and put that in the pop scene where everyone thought that was the way, because it's always you either wholesome, clean Britney or dirty Christina.
That's true. They did pin them against each other. That's a very good one, too.
That is true.
Yep, they created that divide.
Yeah. But yeah, what you're saying. My bad.
Well, like, it's something that it's kind of very difficult to counteract what you're saying, because a lot of the focus right now seems to be that the women are creating these derogatory songs and displaying themselves in an inappropriate manner. However, you can have another spin on that because males have been doing this in the in the music videos. Yeah. They've been out here objectifying women. And again, as I said, the subtlety of how it was done back then wasn't so subtle. It just wasn't a heavy topic, because now you have so many feminist movements happening. Now you have so many women speaking out. You have Me Too movements. You have so many things happening now where women have a voice, whereas back then they, so to speak, in quotations, didn't have a voice. So it wasn't frowned upon by men singing about getting this girl and doing this and that. It was like, okay, that's what a man's supposed to do. But now when women want to take it back, they're like, if you're already going to say this about us anyways, then let's create a whole track on it. And you guys can now don't even have to objectify us because we're doing it for ourselves. We're making you see what we have, the power that we have. So when did, like, because I know it was just part of the WAP video and that's like what kind of started that. If you look at it that way, can you really blame them? can you really say that they're not being role models or whatever when you have men singing the same thing? What's it? The baby got, I think, like FM hoes tattooed on his side of his legs the other day or something like that.
Oh,
sounds about right.
And it's like, again, that's just how these are little role models for kids, right? The baby or I don't even know, the baby and little baby. They're big time now. People be coming telling me about them all the time, and I'm like,
nah, you're right.
Okay.
Nah, you're right.
Trey Songz did say he invented sex, so you're right.
There you go. Don't throw that back. Because nobody knocked.
I invented sex.
Nobody knocked "Work It" by Missy Elliott, and she was saying some stuff in that song. She was saying some stuff in that song.
She really was.
She said, "Sex be so good, I want to say blah blah blah." Like she bleeped it out in the track too. But it's like she was like, "These are all the things you're saying about us anyway. So why don't we own it?" So my question is, are we really mad that they're objectifying themselves and they're putting themselves out there like this? Or are we mad that they're the ones doing it and it's not a man doing it? Because it seems to be praised when a man does it, but when a female does it, it's like, why are you doing this? You're setting us back. We work so hard.
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying, I've been seeing that in status too, that a lot of times people say, black guy would do it, everyone would be quiet. A woman does it. Oh my God, you have no scruples. You have no shame. Why are you doing it? And you're right. That's not fair that we have to kind of double standard that way. Everyone should be held accountable for what they're saying. Mm-hmm. And the age old saying sex sells. It's stupid, but it's true. Yeah. But it should be equal account that if Trey Songz singing about I invented sex and then Nicki Minaj is singing about super bass, they should be accountable for what they're saying to people.
Exactly. 100%.
Yeah, like why can't a woman own what it is that she's saying she wants? Explicitly, yes, but why can't that be owned? Or why is it a problem when a woman owns it and then it's okay when a man does?
Asterisk 2020.
It's society and the way that the world's moving, it's honestly like there's so many things happening that it's just moving so fast that no one's putting rules on like anything nowadays. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, like we were talking about, should we be looking at these people as role models? I mean, like who's saying that? Because at the end of the day, everyone's gonna do what they want to do, regardless of the matter of fact. You know what I mean? So for me, I couldn't. I don't know. It's a tough thing because, like I said, the world's moving fast, and we can't even. I personally can't say I'm gonna try to filter because it's hard for me to even try to filter myself. Because right now, I tell you guys, I don't even listen to that stuff too tough because I'm listening to lo-fi and jazz and stuff, but I can't listen to that stuff a lot because that stuff it'll get you on a different level if you keep listening to the same stuff over and over again. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I can't listen to that stuff like that.
My mom has a saying growing up because she never wanted me to really listen to it because it's a super bona fide church home. And
I was there too.
It was a super bona fide. So I still listen to stuff here and there just as a sign of rebellion per se, just because I'm like, well, she doesn't know. Just like, oh, I'm just going to listen to it anyway because all my friends are doing it and I don't want to look like a goof. But a lot of her teachings, as I grew up, I looked into it. And it's one thing she always taught me. Garbage in, garbage out. She say, everything you listen to, you filter it in your heart. And then you, at times, might reflect it out without even noticing.
Facts.
So some things you have to listen to, take in, and make sure you put it out of your system, or you will become part of that system.
Foundation's
key. Oh, wow, that's deep.
Those are
Mama
wise.
Warbucks.
I was going to say, foundation's key because, like, a lot of people won't even know. Like, you know what I mean? A lot of people are, like I just said, are listening to these things and actually thinking this is real life or this is how I should be or, you know what I mean? Like, they're saying, I'm looking, boom, little baby sing about trapping hard. Boom, I have a good home, but I'm still going to go try to live like little baby or try to do the things little baby doing. So,
yeah, they become consumed with like partying and drugs and money and getting women that's how you live. And then for young females, it's like in order to get the attention of a male counterpart, you gotta look half dressed, you gotta be able to like be down with the get down and all these things. And it's just like it clouds the judgment for children being children because it's so emphasized.
Like we said, to each their own. To the listeners we have up there, these are just our opinions again. We're not here condemning. We're not here saying what you're putting into you is wrong, but it's just it's just what we're saying. Sometimes take a step back. It's when you're sitting there listening, saying, yeah, this is good, rolling up the blunt, smoking, drinking, all that. Yeah, it's good, wholesome fun. But if you see it become part of your life and you're not progressing, you only take a step back, you have to just really think about what you're saying, think about what you're doing. Because children are sponges. They see and mimic everything we do.
Especially on
every
repetition.
single thing we do, and we put repetition. If they see we're sitting here and calling women hoes, calling women bitches, calling saying, yo, drinking this syrup is good, they're gonna emulate it. And then only person you can look back in the future is yourself. You have to look at your reflection and say, hey, I was doing this when you were little. I should have been singing nursery rhymes. I shouldn't have been here slinging slob on my knob. Yeah, but it's real. I know. It's a product of an environment thing that we have. So it's just you teach, you grow what you teach. If your tomato plant's going to be shitty, it's because you grew it shitty. Same thing for people around you.
Okay, so are you trying to say the music now is not authentic, it's more mainstream and streamlined as to provide a view of how to view the world? Or can we have artists that are still authentic and back to what we would say is the good music?
Well, we do have authentic. We have Childish Gambino. We have we have
Kendrick.
Joe Cole. Palmer's still putting out stuff. J. Cole. We still have some people that are still talking on the issues of there. Maybe because their label's telling them to, or maybe they're doing it on their own. But it's also, you have the other hand where you have people who looked up to Tory Lanez when he did Quarantine Radio and now still asking questions about what's going on with Meg Thee Stallion and what's happening with that. Everyone's soaking it in, and which side are they really thinking is the right side?
And that's the thing with the industry too. It's so crazy that I was just having this conversation with someone else. It's so crazy that if I did whatever, if the situation was Meg and Tory, say if it was a regular civilian like us, man, that stuff would still be on the news till today. You know what I mean? Ours still would be but just because I feel like they're famous and they're celebrities and they're in the industry, it's playing out in a different way so that it looks good on both parties. You know what I mean? If I did that, my whole face would still be on the gram every week, every day. It would be a hashtag. You know what I mean? I haven't seen anything about Tory. I haven't heard anything from Tory, but I think that's how the industry is working, man. It's crazy. It's they try to make these people that they would call role models look amazing, but they're really not. They're humans just like us, but it's the way how the world's shaping and the way how they're trying to mask everything around the industry, man. That's crazy. The industry just crazy to me.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the kids, because we've mentioned a couple times in the episode, how it affects the way they see the world, how it affects the way they see themselves, and the fact that because of the internet, they have access to all this stuff, right? So there's a lot of parents who might be parents, guardians, etc., who might be wondering, man, how do I help my kids work through this stuff? So I was reading an interview earlier with this woman called Erin Harper, who's a school psychologist, and she's an assistant professor of psychology as well. And the interviewer was asking her about how to properly deal with these explicit songs and also raising kids. And she was saying that, if the kids hear the explicit versions of these songs, then the parents should be using it as an opportunity for teaching and for learning about sexuality. And so let's say they're hearing, specific words and they're asking, what does this thing mean? Then the parents should be able to hopefully use it as an opportunity to teach them at home. Because Sheni was saying, she wasn't allowed to listen to this stuff at home. But when she went to school, she was learning all the lyrics anyway, right? So it's almost where would you rather them learn about it? From you or from the other 10-year-old who's well, my older brother said...
That's a good question.
Right? Because that's how a lot of kids end up with that knowledge, right? She was also saying, if you hear them saying it, like, you know, kids will just be walking around and like singing song lyrics and you're like, but wait, where did you,
Yeah, what?
right?
Yeah.
Like we're saying exactly.
Yeah.
We were saying our parents would have been like, what the heck? Like, don't say
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
But she was saying it's a good idea to like ask the kids what they already know. And don't make them feel like ashamed or embarrassed, but like don't laugh at them or whatever, even if they're asking silly, embarrassing questions. But try to show them that they can be comfortable asking questions and talking about that stuff with you again, instead of like
someone
just looking it up on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but get into so much trouble that way because, as we talked about before, the internet's endless, so you can find so many different things to counteract even the points that you're trying to make,
So many
right?
things. Yeah.
And instill in your children. So if they don't even feel comfortable talking to you about what they're absorbing and trying to figure out the proper definition, then that, as a parent or a guardian, does become counterproductive to trying to even allow them to listen to these songs and grow from these songs if you're not going to educate them as well.
Yeah, 100%. Like Warbucks said, like, was it your mom or your grandma? So it's like foundation is 100% key because at the end of the day, like, yo, I couldn't have been bumping them type of thing. You know what I mean? Like, that type of things was in my room. Like, I'd close the door. But if I was, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like I'll be blazing it out. Because at the end of the day, I was brought up a different way. I'm not gonna be playing those music. Like I'm telling Shenny earlier before this podcast started, Barris Hammond, them old school Sanchez, them Barrington Levy's.
Yes.
Those are music that I'll be playing for 20, 30 years from now. You know what I mean? Like, thank God for technology because them thing they will forever be saved in my playlist. But yeah, foundation is 100% key because I'm glad my parents showed me them things because that's classic. You know, that's music. I could drop a one Barris and everybody's or cool. You know what I mean? Like you're in a vibe. Like you're like,
everybody just throw up the drink and do the old man shake.
Milk a skank. You know what I mean? Like something nice. Like
true vibes.
Yeah, true vibes. But yeah, man, foundation is key. 100%. 100%.
Oh my gosh, you bringing up Barris made me think of something. Sorry, Steven, I cut you.
You good.
Did you not see what Billboard did? When it came to the verses,
with the verses,
listen, everybody should
poster.
sip tea at this moment because listen, can't you have to come out and say that dirty Billboard,
right?
Like, how are they gonna X us out and not put us on the Billboard?
But like Shenny, like I was saying earlier, hey, I feel like the artists in Yad in Jamaica had that ability to make that platform for themselves. You know what I mean? Like. Jamaica stems off clashes off of exactly what Versus is doing. That's all they do in Yad, eh? It's a Yad thing. It's a Yad thing. But before we jump into that, brief message from our sponsors.
Catch the Perspicax on Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube, and other streaming platforms.
Yeah, like I was saying right before the brief intermission, Jamaica stems off clashes, quote unquote, the versus battle that happened. If you guys haven't watched it, Swiss Beats and Timberland pretty much constructed a platform for artists to pretty much showcase their catalog of music, and they pretty much invited Beanie Man and Bounty Killer, big artists in Jamaica. I'd say the biggest artists right now. Well, not biggest, but the most legendary alive artists right now, obviously R.I.P. Bob Marley, big up Bob Marley, but the artists right now that I would say would be staples of Jamaica. You know what I mean? So they invited them onto Versus, shelled down the Versus. I didn't watch a Versus battle after that. I don't know if there was any more. My bad.
There's been a couple.
I think there were some after it, but
there's been
nothing
a few,
that could ever compare.
Nothing. Listen to me.
Jagged Edge sucks.
I was playing that on two speakers on my iPad set on my car outside, and we were just in the streets with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was an actual jam. Like, that's what I'm saying. But they, in my opinion, those artists, like artists in Jamaica right now, could have made their own platform like Versus and had their own artists in there so they wouldn't have to say, all right, Versus threw us off of that. Now, like, everyone feels... I get it. Like, I feel bad, too. But at the end of the day, you got to think, like, these guys invited them over there. It's not like Versus was a Yad, like an all genre. You know what I mean? What did it start off with? Erykah Badu and what? I don't remember. It was all...
No, it didn't even start off... wasn't it with Babyface?
No. Jill Scott and Erykah Badu were the first ones.
Exactly.
No, man.
They were the first. Yes,
Yeah.
they
They
were.
were the first
So, like-
because there was a couple. Like Boy Wonder did some. Like Babyface and Teddy was like a couple up there.
Yes. They were, but I didn't. Like I said, I didn't see anything after that because I felt that was the those two were the most. But come off of that, they could have. I understand the anger while we're not on that cover, but in my head, like as a young man, I grew up there. I was born there. Like we have artists there that could build their own platform like this. These guys are building platforms in the States and everywhere else, but they could do it in Jamaica. It's possible, 100%. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know if we feel like we need the industry on that side of the world, North America, to help us bring our music out. But I get why people are mad, but I don't feel that angry or mad about it because at the end of the day, it's like you invited me to the house and I ate food and I didn't give you leftovers. Well, you're right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like what, man? Like, no, but yeah, that's my take on that. What do you guys think?
I don't know.
I feel like I saw a poster. I saw that they redid it.
They did because
with
after
Beanie and Bounty, like
after
front
Swiss
and
Beats
center.
after Swiss Beats made
Right.
a thing.
Yes, but I feel like was it only on Swiss Beats page? I don't think Billboard actually
Nope.
changed it, right?
Nope.
But I think that's a really interesting perspective. Like, yeah, they were invited in as guests. They did great. They got a lot of clout from it. But the thing was, like, say, for example, Spotify.
Right.
Spotify capitalized on Versus a lot.
Yeah.
So they had, like,
Facts.
like as soon as the battle was over, they had the playlist with all the songs that were in the battle. They were like pushing Beanie Man and like Bounty Killer music, and they have all this Jamaican themed stuff.
Yeah.
But Spotify is not even available in Jamaica. No one in Jamaica can even use Spotify to stream music.
Not at all.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people are like, whoa. We just brought you all this money. You're getting all of this off of us, and you're not even making your service available for us to use at home.
Man, I'm gonna have to make sure their Digicel flow and make sure their Wi-Fi internet's up just to pre that. You know what I mean? Like, imagine. I know a lot of people that saved that Versus, like saved it and still watching it to this day, like on repeat. But like,
because it's like we love to highlight when Jamaicans do greatness. It's what we do best. We love to highlight it.
Facts.
You see the Versus?
Facts.
You see the Versus? Oh man, you see when Beanie? Okay, like
And to
you know.
fact check it, sorry to interrupt, it was actually Timbaland versus Swiss Beats was the first one.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
They
Oh,
kicked it
that
off.
makes
So,
sense.
Yeah,
They're the
kicked
first
it
ones to kick it off. It was that, then it was Boy Wonder versus the other beat producer. So they've had a lot coming through.
I will say I did watch Ludacris versus Nelly. Completely
did.
different feel, but that was a good one.
Yeah?
John
That was a
Legend and
good
Alicia Keys. I kind of like that piano vibe, like, you know.
Yeah. I
I
didn't
like
listen to
that.
that one. So.
See, there are some artists actually that are out there still that do play great music. I just think it's pushed under the rug to put top the negative music. And when I say negative music, I mean negative display of a lifestyle. That music gets pushed to the surface.
But it's also kind of what the media wants to put out. We have to remember the media controls everything.
Listen, it's all about money, bro. It's what's gonna bring views. It's what's gonna bring. Because I watched the What video and I'm thinking like, why was Kylie Jenner even in there?
She's friends
That's
with Cardi.
succubus?
They're friends. It's Cardi wanted a bunch
Bun
of
all of
women.
that. Listen to me.
She's a succubus.
But bun that. They wanted the views. You know, Kylie Jenner.
Yep.
They wanted the views.
They wanted
she's a succubus.
the controversy because people are like, "Ooh, why is she in here? Why is she in here?" But when they're asking that, they're talking about the song. They're talking about
And they're
the video.
clicking, they're sending it to people. They're making, because you have to go into like the middle of the song to see that. So you have to watch the video. Like, you know what I mean? So
So you mean that all this thinking that I've been thinking is wrong? That it's just
Kardashians
simply,
are a cancer.
hey,
They're a cancer.
we are
They're a
not
cancer
going to talk about them negatively, okay? Okay? We're not
Everybody
gonna do
just
it.
live their life.
right? So go out, live your life, yeah.
Duppy them.
Wow. You see,
I co-sign.
Yeah,
is
try
that, so
co-sign.
everybody's co-signing? I feel like I'm being targeted. No.
You? Are you a Kardashian?
Yeah.
I'm not,
Kardashian?
but like, you know
You're
what?
right.
I have a
Kris
different
Jenner?
viewpoint and like, oh man, this is
You,
awkward.
They
you
really
hear
love
it.
the Kardashians?
What, let's hear it. No, what? No, we're not excusing.
Well, I
Talk
just
the
think
things.
that I think that what Chris did was iconic. This doesn't really have to do with music, but she took a music artist, what's his name, Ray J, and Kim, and they did that little thing there, and that blew up the whole family. And I think that Chris has a manager's mindset because she took a negative and turned that all the way into coin that I will never have.
What little thing there?
It was a visual image.
Everyone they've touched,
I'm playing.
Everyone they've touched, they've ruined. Where's my Kanye? I miss your Kanye.
Right?
Where is he?
Lamar
and you know
Odom.
what, folks? Let me just lean into this mic. I do not disagree. I was just looking at it from a manager's point of view.
I hear that. No, facts.
Yeah, if we're talking about what Kris Jenner has done to make her family a brand, she's probably
top dog.
She's probably, I was gonna say unmatched, but that's not true.
Yeah, come on.
I feel like Joe Jackson did something very similar.
Facts.
Oh,
big facts.
Oh, hold on. You touched something. The only man, tied. He's tied. He did produce a great son, you know, the king of pop, Michael Jackson.
Yeah. We talking about Jermaine? I'm kidding, yo. I just wanted to see.
I know, right? I was going to say.
I do the shots here, not you. I do the shots.
You know, everyone's face.
Shout out Latoya Jackson.
Okay, we can shout out all the Jacksons underneath Michael Jackson.
Tito, where you at, dog? Where you at, Tito? Where you at, Tito?
Yo, you know, y'all are just batting up my heart with this right here.
We just know how much you love Michael Jackson.
I know,
King of Pop still holding that and have 8 Grammys in one night. Are you dumb? Who's topping this?
Jeez, cool.
Find me the topper. You can't. That means Drake. You're not the king of. You're not the king of nothing. You're not compared to MJ. Don't do that. Don't compare him. Like, just don't compare him.
Chris Brown's almost there.
That's real music.
I think Chris Brown's like up there still. But
he's very close.
Yeah,
I will give him that. You know, he has that dance vibe that Michael had. He has that performer vibe that Michael had.
He's a triple threat, yo. That's
yeah,
our boy.
You know what?
Shout out Chris Brown. Yo, holla at me, you know?
Oh, man, guys. We could talk about vibes forever. We could talk about artists forever. That's just like the cool thing is that we're all able to just discuss how we feel about what's going on in this world.
And like, yo, input our own opinion. Because like Orbit was saying, like, we all have our own opinions. We're all obviously listening to different music. We're all, involved in different things or use music for a different need or aspect. You know what I mean? I use music for different needs. I use music for different aspects. So I'm not saying, like, you should be doing this. But at the end of the day, be weary of how much you take in and what you take in. Because I feel like that's what it really comes down to.
That was poetic. Poetic.
That thing, I had to take a page out of my brother's book, At Rum Rock Speaks, like a poetry. You know what I mean?
Wow.
This is a beautiful closing statement.
Yeah, I think we just have to end it right there now.
Yeah, man. Episode 6, much respect. Yeah, like
6 in the 6.
Keep listening, keep liking, keep sharing. 6 in the 6.
6 in the 6, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I love you guys, man. Keep holding it down each week. Every Saturday, 7 p.m. New episode of the Perspicax. And we're out.
That's all for this episode. Please like, follow, and subscribe.
This is Jason Warbucks.
This is Lynn.
This is Shani.
This is your boy Steven, and you're now tuned into
the Perspicax.